The drivers of black cabs protested again today, and again it was about their main competitors, minicabs. They say they have evidence that private hire taxis are picking up passengers from the street when they're meant to be booked in advance. Alice Bandakravi followed the protest.
We're recognised around the world as an icon of London, and we're constantly voted the best taxi service in the world.
Paul Kelly on his way to join dozens of other cabbies this afternoon around the Aldwych. They say they're being driven to distraction by minicab drivers who too often act illegally.
The laws simply state that the only vehicle that's allowed to apply for hire late at night, or at any point during the day actually, is a licensed London black taxi. They're aware of this, and they completely choose to ignore this. And they blatantly apply for hire out on the streets, and it's illegal, which makes their insurance invalid.
Some black cab drivers are so incensed they've collected evidence. They say this footage shows the streets around bars and clubs in the West End, with minicabs allegedly parked in taxi ranks and bus stops. So today, disgruntled cabbies held their second protest in a week.
Do you think this is the best way to make your point, by demonstrating in the street and causing disruption?
Well, we don't want to cause disruption to the people travelling around London. We understand they're busy people, and we don't take this action lightly.
But there was disruption for parts of the afternoon.
Now, this may look like the average afternoon in central London, but if you look closely, most of the vehicles in the traffic are black taxis, and they've brought the Aldwych to a standstill.
Thankfully, I've done my delivery, so my client is an inconvenience, but it's affecting me now because it's costing me money as well.
They take up their taxi lanes, so, black cabs should be the priority.
And they're not necessarily safe.
Transport for London, which regulates London's taxis and minicab businesses, says it's doing its best to deal with illegal behaviour.
When the Mayor came to power, he doubled the size of the cab enforcement team. We introduced one strike and you're out policies for illegal touting and illegal operators. We accept there's always more that can be done, and we're working very hard and working very productively with the main taxi associations that represent the trade.
It's still not enough for these drivers, though, who say they want a stronger police presence at night, which is when the problem is at its worst.
Analyst Alice joins me now from Piccadilly Circus. We saw that demonstration in your report, but not that much disruption today.
Not too much disruption, and that most of the traffic was fairly localised in the Aldwych area. This evening it's the usual midweek rush hour traffic, so not too much disruption caused from the protest. But we can talk now to Councillor Jonathan Glans from Westminster Council. Now, you take care of the West End. Your area is at the heart of this problem, isn't it?
Very much so, and we're aware of the issues that it causes. We've been working closely with the police and Transport for London and our own enforcement department to try and resolve some of the issues that are created by this.
But we've seen footage of these illegal manoeuvres, licensed cabs and unlicensed cabs, and anyone who's gone out in the West End knows that this is what happens. They do tout for business, so obviously your enforcement officers aren't doing enough.
Well, they could always do with more help and assistance, but I think the most important thing to remember is that if people didn't use these cabs, then there would be no market for them. There'd be no need for the touts, and there would be no need for these people to be operating in this way.
And what other specific techniques are you using to deal with this problem?
Well, we don't support this illegal trade, but what we have been doing is taking a number of measures to support the black cab trade, and that includes adding additional spaces for the black cab so that they can operate legally and visibly in these areas.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to us. The black cab drivers who were protesting today did say that that was the last of their protests, 2 in less than 7 days. That was the last of it, and they will now be entering a period of reflection to work out what to do next to solve this problem.
Alice, thanks for that.